Hello everyone. I first unboxed this Electrolux Twinstream, the 3-in-1 cleaner, in December 2015, and that particular video didn't go very well at all because the cleaner fell to bits as I was removing it from the box, and you'll see that video still on my channel. I had a little bit of a rant at the time, but the seller did have another one, which is this particular machine, which I showed you on my channel. I unboxed it to check it was okay, but I haven't demonstrated it. So today I'm actually going to plug this in, demonstrate it, wet and dry, because I want to check it works, as this is a cleaner that will be up for sale on my Facebook page. So by the time you see this video, it might have been sold. I need to get rid of my storage unit in 2025. It's costing me too much money, and there's so many cleaners I don't really want anymore. I've just amassed a load of machines, but I will be getting rid of quite a few. So follow me on Facebook to be updated when that happens. So this is model Z65 or Z65 if you're watching from the United States, and it's a 3-in-1, and unlike the quite similar Masterlux that I've shown you, it doesn't have a pump. It uses air pressure created by the vacuum cleaner's motor. So without any further ado, I'll take everything out of the box. We'll have a look, just make sure it survived all those years in my storage unit, and we'll plug it in and give it a go. Here's everything out of the box. We get the cleaner itself, a flexible hose, two plastic ones, but they seem quite a strong plastic. They don't seem flimsy at all. Quite a nice thickness to the plastic. This is your standard carpet and floor nozzle. Looks a bit like a goblin floor head, but it's got a nice metal base plate, foot operated pedal here that lowers the brushes front and back, as well as side suction channels. So that's for dry use only. Then we have a reasonable length of crevice tool, a dusting brush with medium soft brushes. They're okay, they're not as stiff as some brushes on modern cleaners, but I wouldn't trust that to very delicate items, but okay for lampshades and dusting your shelves. Then we've got your upholstery nozzle, pretty bog standard. This is the fishtail nozzle for wet use for washing carpets, and with the addition of this squeegee you can wash and dry hard floors. Then we've got the solution tube incorporating a trigger assembly to turn the solution on and off, some clips to attach the tube to the wands and the hose. Of course we get full instructions. We'll look at those in a bit more detail. We get one dust bag, a double layer bag. I'm wondering if Henry bags might fit. I'm not sure. I might try a Henry bag in this, because when I sell this I would like to sell it with this bag. I'm pretty sure on eBay you can buy bags for this still. I'm pretty sure I checked recently. And then we get one paper filter. So when you use this as a dry pickup cleaner, you're supposed to put the paper filter over the foam filter inside the tank, and then of course put the bag in place as well. Got a bit of paperwork. We've got your guarantee card here that we need to send off to Nuneaton. Z65 Twinstream. Then there's a little important notice. Instruction for connecting the air and shampoo tubes to the floor nozzle. And then we've got some correction here to go with the instruction book. Here is the instruction book. Shampoo, wet and dry. So it's a dry vacuum, it's a wet pickup vacuum, and a shampoo cleaner. All the parts are laid out there for you. There's no upholstery shampooing function on this one. It's just for carpets and hard floors. Lots of text. I will peruse that at my leisure. So at the back there's no, oh, it says October 1992. That's the date anyway on the instruction book. Here's the cleaner, and it does look quite 90s, this colour scheme, almost 80s, but a bit more muted than some 80s vacuum cleaners. We've got a fitted plug and a little clip to secure the cable once it's wrapped around the machine. I assume it's wrapped around this part, but I'll double check in the instruction book. So this is how it came out of the box with its shampoo tank, but you don't have to have that tank fitted for dry use. Let's just remove that. There we go, that just comes off. So this is the tank you fill with your warm water and solution. I think the original one did have a bottle of Vanish carpet cleaner solution. That's the type you use for this sort of machine, not foaming. It was designed for 3-in-1 cleaners, but I think it wouldn't be any good anyway. I don't know if I threw that away years ago. I think some of it might have evaporated. But you can use Vax solution in it, Bissell solution, Rug Doctor, any solution that's suitable for this type of machine. So yeah, this is for your solution. This is the filler cap. It's a bit stiff because it is new, more or less. And you can see the cap is actually secured by a bit of it is a bit of string. I was going to say it can't be a bit of string. It is a bit of string. So you don't lose it because you need this to pressurize the tank. So this would work similar to the Hoover Aquamaster, a bit similar to the non-pumped Vax machines, but it's more similar, I think, to the Aquamaster, the way the solution tank fits on the top of the motor and is pressurized by the exhaust air from the vacuum. So it does need to be sealed, and you need to make sure that the seal on this is okay. Yeah, there is a little rubber O-ring. Easy enough to replace, I suppose, if that was to perish. So we can close that. And we've got a nice metal fitting there to attach part of the Twinstream tube to. Twinstream is called Twinstream because the solution pipe has 2 pipes. One supplies the shampoo and the other is air, so I assume it probably goes into here, puts air into the tank to pressurize it, and it comes out, the solution comes out of that one. So that's that. Be interesting to see if this works. So you can use it like this for dry use. It's got a nice hose, again a nice seal on it, so it's a sort of bayonet fitting. Somebody has just started making a racket outside. I will persevere. I need to film this video, so I don't know what's going on. Very inconsiderate, how dare they. Right, so it's quite nifty actually. Nippy is what I meant to say. It's a quite nippy little machine actually when you're using it for dry use, and some people might have actually used this as their dry vacuum cleaner, believe it or not, but it is very manoeuvrable because it's got swivel casters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, smooth running casters on the bottom of the machine. Here's the top of the cleaner, incorporating a built-in carry handle, a single on-off switch covered by a splash-proof cover, and on the back here, there's a little bit of dust on this. On the back we've got this little lever here that you need to move over when you're using it for shampoo cleaning. That needs to move over to the shampoo side, and that I think redirects some of the exhaust air through the tube into the clean water tank on the top. But for normal dry use, dry pickup and just wet pickup without shampooing, you can just leave it on that side there. It's by appointment to Her Majesty the Queen. By appointment to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, suppliers of suction cleaners and floor polishers, Electrolux Limited, Luton Beds. This is Electrolux model Z65, product number 9029626-04, serial number 334012003, 240 volts, 50 hertz, 1000 watts. It's made in Italy. It's got the splash-proof logo. It's double insulated and it's BEAB approved. This is the exhaust vent at the back of the motor unit, which can be removed, and there's a little diffuser in there. It's a dual layer, so it's got the sort of black foam plus this white foam. You might be able to get spares for this, but it's easy enough to get something similar and cut it to fit, because these do perish after a few years. And this is from the 90s, early 90s, I'd say. Can't really tell which, I'm not sure about dating this, so, but I'm sure it's still early 90s. It said 92, didn't it, on the instruction book? Yes, 92. So early 90s, let's say. This wasn't actually made by Electrolux as far as I remember. It was made in Italy by a company called Vortis. I think that's how you pronounce it. They're still going, I believe, that company. They make bathroom extractor fans and other fans and things. Not sure if they still make vacuum cleaners. Right, let's pop that back on. There we go. Let's have a look inside. To release the motor unit, there are two clips either side. Let's hope it doesn't fall to bits. The last time I lifted one of these up, all this separated. It was a complete mess. I think we're fine, but I won't push it. There's the empty bin, and here's the filter system for dry use. We've got this paper bag secured by a rubber band, which probably has seen better days. If you can't find a rubber band big enough, a long cable tie would secure it, but you'd have to cut it off, I think, when you want to change the filter. We've also got this cloth filter, and both of these need to be fitted over the float cage when you're using it for dry. You can use it without a bag, but Electrolux recommend you do put a bag in, but it is possible just to use this cloth and this paper filter as the main filter medium. But yeah, put a bag in, folks. I've just checked eBay, and you can still buy genuine Electrolux bags that fit the Twinstream, as well as some aftermarket ones in a fleece material. So I'm going to use the bag supplied. In my storage unit, I might have a pack of bags for this. So I'll look for those when I go to my storage unit this evening. So when I sell this, I might be able to sell it with a pack of bags as well. Right, so we need to push the cardboard collar. Yeah, so it fits. Yeah, it fits completely flush with the outer drum. Right, so sort of try and open it up a bit, like so. Then place the motor unit back on. It only goes a certain way. You've got to line up this section with the clip. Oh no, that's not quite in the middle. Oh, yeah, there we are. As long as it's within that region. So that secures the top half to the lower half. Let's lift it up again. It was bizarre how that one just broke. This complete top just came away from the bottom part. I did sell that broken one. I sold it, I think, for £20 quite a few years ago on eBay, just for spares. So hopefully the spares provided by my broken one enabled someone to use their existing Twinstream. Let's plug in. As they say, will it turn on? No. Is it going to blow? I'm going to risk it. Yeah, it is noisy, but it's not too bad. You know, I've heard noisier. Let's pop the hose on. Make sure it's fitted tightly. This is a very angular looking handle, isn't it? Very sharp angle on that. Deary me. We do have a suction relief valve doobry, suction control, so we can open up the vent to reduce the suction. Close it for full suction and of course maximum extraction of water. You need to keep that closed. It does, oh I was going to say it does swivel. It doesn't swivel. It doesn't swivel at the handle end. It does swivel at the cleaner end though. Let's do a suction test. This Electrolux Twinstream peaked at 82 on my suction gauge, so just a fraction above the suction power of a regular Henry. So now we need to set this up for carpet cleaning. I'll take the hose off initially, but we'll be... Oh, I've made a mess. Hang on. There we go. Right. I have dirted up another rug. It's in the kitchen now. I dirted it up a few days ago with some fake dirt, but it'll give a nice visual demonstration of how this performs. Hopefully it will perform. So we need to first take off the motor unit. Oh dear, what's happened? Oh no! Whoops! Right. Yeah, well that's more or less, I think the motor's fine. I don't think the dust will have got through to the motor, but what's happened in here? Are the bags come off? The bags... Oh. I mean, the bag was on pretty tightly, but it's come off, I'm afraid. And look, spilt some mess inside here. Oh, right. So, that's not, unless I've done something wrong. There are two movable doobries at each side, but it looked like you just pushed it on. Anyway, we're going to show this cleaner warts and all. I'm not going to fabricate anything. I just need to... Yeah. It smells nice though. That was a mixture of red lentils, birdseed that I can't use because it sprouts in my lawn and the lawn had to be dug up, well, part of it, and also a bit of washing powder I had lying around, and it smells a lot nicer now because it had a bit of a smell of my storage unit. When I first got this, it smelled of the farmyard, and long-term viewers will know what I mean by that. I've opened quite a few vacuums from the same cellar that smelt of manure for some reason, and this has got a distinct smell of my storage unit. It's a dry, enclosed, cool storage unit. Doesn't get too hot, doesn't get too cold, just nice ambient temperature. But everything that goes in there comes out smelling of it. It does dissipate, don't worry. But now it should smell of washing powder if you buy this. Okie dokie, well I will reuse this dirt for another video and save this bag. But we first need to empty all this out and then set it up for carpet shampooing. Okay, that's the bin emptied. I now need to remove the filters from the float cage. A little bit dusty under there, but it won't matter because we're going to use it for wet cleaning now. So, just need to pop the motor unit back. like so, and set it up for carpet shampooing. Okie dokie, I've filled the tank with hot water and solution. The tank holds a maximum of 3.2 litres. So 3 litres of water and 200 millilitres of solution. But if you're using a different shampoo, just go by the litre. So if your shampoo, for example, says 40 ml per litre, then just put 120 millilitres of solution in with 3 litres of water. So it's in. I've got the cap securely tightened, so now I can place this on the top of the cleaner. So on it goes like a fetching hat. That's it, that's seated properly. And while we're at it, we just need to make sure that the little lever at the back is pushed forward to shampoo. Okie dokie, and now we can attach the hose like so. We've got the wands attached, and onto the end of the wand we need to put the fishtail nozzle. So it's just a friction fit, so bit of a push and a twist, and obviously you'll need to make sure that the handle is in the correct position. We'll have that closed for shampooing for the maximum suction and extraction. And then finally we've got the dreaded task of clipping the solution hose to the vacuum hose or the solution tube. First thing we need to do is fit the trigger assembly. The end of the solution tube with the metal connector fits onto the cleaner, so we need to make sure we put this round the right way. Probably won't go the wrong way, so this is the way it goes on, and you'll see there's a little slot here on the handle, so it just clips on, I believe. Should just clip. Don't want to force it. It's quite an old cleaner, so we don't want to force anything and break it, because I expect you can't get parts for this apart from bags and possibly the filter. There we go. Yep, that's clicked in both sides. Next we need to fit this end of the solution tube to the spray nozzle. There are 2 places it connects, at the top here and at the rear of the nozzle. So I've never done this before, but according to the instructions this pushes on here. Yeah, it's tight because it's new, but you want it to be a nice tight fitting. That's it, that's very secure. And then this bit here, this elbow piece, angled piece, fits onto this part. Again, it's going to be tight. Might have to move that back slightly. There we go, I think that's in position. I think once you've done this once though, you can leave that. You don't have to keep taking it off, because it'll stay when you remove the solution tube from the hose. You can just leave the solution tube attached to this. So there you go, that looks securely in place. The solution clips all seem to be the same size, so we need to fit 2 of them to the middle of each wand and 3 to the hose. And you'll see that on the solution tube there are 2 little slits, one here and one further up the tube here. So you've got to put the clips, you see this end of the clip, that fits through one of the slots on the solution tube. And again, once you've fitted this, that should be it. You won't have to do it again. The same with this one on the lower wand. Let's check it, yeah, fit it in like that. Push it in one side and then it'll just go in the other side. And then secure the clip onto the wand. Just open it out like so. And then the other one. There we go. And then we fit the 3 clips to the rest of the solution tube. I've already fitted one here, and there's another slot here. Make sure they fit the same way round. Whoops-a-daisy. So that goes in there like so. And then finally, yeah, make sure it's the same way up. This one goes into here There we are. So they're all fitted now, so like I say, they should be able to stay in place when you don't use the machine for shampooing. You just unclip it from the hose and the wands and coil it up and put it away, and it's ready to be clipped on another time. Now that the solution tube is clipped onto the hose, we need to attach these connectors to the cleaner. So the metal end goes into the metal connector and this plastic end goes into the hole here. The metal end fits into the connector here, just pushes in. If you want to release it, you just press the button on the side. So we'll pop that back in, and the plastic end goes into the hole, like so. So with everything connected as per the instruction book, fingers crossed, we're going to see some spray coming out of the bottom of the nozzle. First of all, we need to switch on and then squeeze the trigger here on the underside of the handle, and after a few seconds we should start to see solution spraying out of the nozzle. Okie dokie, well, I'm going to try this out on this rug that I'm standing on. It has been dirtied up, it doesn't look very dirty, but about a week ago I sprayed this with some gravy, diluted gravy granules in a spray bottle. It's about a litre size bottle, I think. I just sprayed everything on, let it dry in the sun, and it's been sort of sitting in my kitchen getting walked on. So let's see, it doesn't look dirty as I said, but I think it's supposed to be a bit of a paler colour than this. So we'll try out the Electrolux Twinstream on this rug and see if we can restore it to its former self. Well, the Electrolux Twinstream has done better than I expected. Here's the before and here's the after. That's not bad at all. There's just, yeah, I can see a slight mark still, if I'm being very critical, so I'd have to go over it, yeah, a bit here as well. I'd have to go over it a couple more times, I think. But that's not bad. You can see, I'm thinking you can see. Looks different on my viewfinder. Hopefully it'll look different on the device you're viewing this video from. But yeah, another tip, I think the best thing to do for a very heavily soiled area is to pre-treat. So basically you hold the nozzle above the carpet while squeezing the trigger and just go and just give a little bit of a pre-spray, and you can leave that for a few minutes and then go over it again with some more spray and suction, and then you finish off without applying any solution. You just keep going as much as you can until no more solution comes up the front nozzle. So it's damp, it's a man-made fibre this, obviously. It's probably polyester. So it's damp, but that won't take too long to dry at all. So I've done a quarter of this rug. I think I better try and clean the rest of it. Well, that's a pretty good result, I think. The pile has been rejuvenated and the colour restored. Now obviously all that gravy that I sprayed on this and let dry in the sun matted down the pile, and it's really come back up. Look at that. It's damp, yes, but I'm going to pop this outside. It is sunny today, which will speed up the drying. And then I'll be messing this carpet up yet again. Once it's dry, I'll be putting more muck on it for another carpet washer demonstration. But yeah, that's not done bad at all. Let's take a look at the dirty water, shall we? So I'll just remove the solution tube and the hose. Take off the solution tank. Open it up. Carefully remove the lid. And here is the dirty water. It's not too foamy. I think just under the foam you can see the dirt that I've picked up. Obviously that was fabricated dirt. It wasn't genuine dirt, but that's how these home shopping channels demonstrate carpet washers. They have to dirty up their carpet samples, and I have to sometimes as well, because I do shampoo my carpets quite a lot and they don't get really filthy. I'm thinking of going around my neighbours and saying, do you want a room cleaned for free? The only proviso is I have to be able to video it for YouTube. The dirtier the better. But yeah, that's pretty good. I did have to refill the tank. There's still about quarter water, so I did use quite a lot of water, to be honest, but it's picked up a lot of it. It did only feel damp to the touch. So yeah, not a bad result for a 90s Electrolux carpet cleaner. Before I show you this Electrolux Twinstream cleaning a kitchen floor, I need to empty out all this dirty water. So we'll remove the top and empty it out. Oh heck, I just had a senior moment. Oh, blimey, shouldn't have done that. I better empty the rest down the sink, to be honest. Yeah. Oh dear, don't walk in it, Molly. Let's get this picked up. So that's how you can pick up spills using the Electrolux Twinstream with the squeegee nozzle attached to the end of the fishtail nozzle. You can also use it to clean hard floors if you put a hard floor cleaning solution in the tank instead of a carpet cleaning one. So this is the squeegee nozzle, so it's great for removing water and other spillages from a hard floor. But for hard floor washing, there's no brush. A lot of cleaners that can clean hard floors as well as carpets will have some sort of brush normally at the back instead of two squeegees. But they claim you can clean hard floors. So all it's going to do basically is spray the floor cleaning solution onto the floor. You can't really scrub and agitate it. You basically just spray it on and suck the solution off, leaving the floor almost dry. I've put a couple of capfuls of this multi-purpose liquid into the tank and topped it up with hot water. So it's time to clean. You do it in a similar way to shampooing carpets. Spray on and suction off. For its time, the Electrolux Twinstream isn't a bad machine, but compared to modern carpet washers, it doesn't hold a candle to most of those. The upright types have revolving brushes to dislodge the dirt, and they're far easier to use, more like using an upright vacuum cleaner. This is like using a canister vacuum cleaner and really having to put your back into it. So that's one niggle. It's hard work. It did the job. It's hard work. Also, although I thought these ones felt quite strong when I unboxed them, they do flex and bend, especially if you're putting any pressure on this nozzle. If you want to extract as much of the water as you can, you do need to sort of press down while you're extracting. Also, the fact that the hose only swivels at the cleaner end means it does tangle itself up, and you're forever sort of, you know, untangling the hose because it's fixed at this end. So that's another niggle. It's also quite noisy, but I had my earpods in when I was doing most of that, so well, I wasn't suffering the noise. I was listening to an ABBA album, which is far more enjoyable than listening to this. I think this, because it's quite old, it would be quite fragile. I personally wouldn't want to lift it up when it's full of liquid by this handle, because the handle is at an odd angle. It doesn't fully go upright. It's nowhere near as strong feeling as the handle, say, on a Vax or a Hoover Aquamaster. It feels, you know, so I would be very careful. You could always carry it like this. It's quite heavy when it's full of water, but you know, for its time, it's okay. And I'm glad I've been able to finally show you it in action. Now, I will be selling this because I've got to clear out a lot of vacuum cleaners in 2025. I'm hoping to get rid of my storage unit by the end of the year. So I have been selling some cleaners on my Facebook page. I'll put a link below this video if you want to check that out. Just follow me on Facebook, because every time I sell a cleaner, I'll pop it on there. And I've sold a few so far, and everyone who I've sold to seems to be happy with my service. So yeah, this will be up for sale. I wouldn't buy it if you just want a carpet washer to use day to day. Only get this if you're a collector, or this is a childhood vac. It's something you remember your parents having and you'd like to own one, and you want to use it very occasionally. But don't expect it to be a very good cleaner for everyday shampooing anyway, or everyday vacuuming. It's not so bad for everyday vacuuming. It's lighter without all the shampoo gubbins, and you don't have the hose attached, a solution tube and everything. But yeah, if you want one anyway, it might have already sold. In fact, no, it won't be sold, because I plan to put this up before I put it for sale. So if you're watching this at the time I'm uploading it, within a week, then it might still be on sale. But I'm sorry, it's UK only. I can't ship outside UK mainland. Well, that's about all I have to show you. I've shown you dry, I've shown you carpet shampooing, I've shown you hard floor cleaning. So that gives you an overview of the Twinstream by Electrolux. If you have any comments or questions about this 3-in-1, please comment below, and I'll see you all very soon for another video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.